Why, greetings, Captain Zabel. Revan speaking. Hope you're doing well. It's great to be here, my friends. I have to say that, well, first patch of the year for 2025. It is patch version 14 in World of Warships. And it's great to be here as we're getting ourselves ready to come out swinging with this. And we got good old Boggzy, Ahskance, the community managers on the North American server, as along with some lovely people on the NA community for Trapper, Fire Sanshi, as well as Denru, and as well as Azure Fire. So welcome everybody. So we're doing Operation Raptor Rescue here, but hang on. I have to say that this is a little bit different. It's called Flagship Operations, ladies and gentlemen. So Flagship Operations is now live in this patch. Now, let me just give you a bit of a rundown. A couple things have changed. So you got basically tier 9s and 10s. That's the div that you're with. And then you're going to have some random ships that you're going up against, comprised from probably from a mixture of tier 9s to super ships. So basically there's a bit of a different composition of ships going up against you. So this is going to be pretty interesting. For the first time in ages, that this is a little bit more challenging operation than many people have experienced in the past. Now, it's similar to the mechanics of the current operations, the way it's been said already, but there's going to be, you know, a bit more improved AI going up against you, and at the same time that these flagships will have more health pool and will do more extra damage against you. So keep that in mind. So for today, I'll just bring out the Wisconsin just for memes, shenanigans, and actually just go out there and have fun with these lovely people here. So we got the Azuma and as well as the Heisen over here that they just basically starting the mechanics of Raptor Rescue, and it's time to do some Citadel memes. So while we're going to start talking about this operation in general, I'm going to just basically explain what has changed a little bit in this operation. So you're going up against, you know, a mixture of tier 9, 10 and super ships, but at the same time though, the mechanics of the operations are still similar to each other as it was, you know, from the operation rework that had done earlier this last year. So basically the operation rework that I'm referring to is that, remember that all the old operations like Hermes, Onslaught, the Cherry Blossom and a few other things like that, they have brought in with a mixture of tier 6 to super warships in terms of choices to choose from. Now I have to say that's pretty much a big wide variety right there, don't you? So this one here is mostly focused on tier 9 to 10 warships, which is nice to see, but at the same time though, that, you know, the player base is actually feeling a bit mixed, that it won't actually have a standard operation that's brand new focus on that. So this one here is the flagship that I've been referring to. So this is the class width. It's actually a super ship and it has a lot of health pool, and you will notice that a lot of ships in this game will have a lot of bigger health pools for the flagships as well. So it doesn't matter if it's just a cruiser, it can happen to carriers, battleships, destroyers, the whole classes all around. So basically you have to keep that in mind. But the funny thing about this, folks, is that in terms of flagship operations, ever since the public test server, since I've shown you beforehand late last year, that the one thing that you can say is that you're going to score a lot of damage in this game. So you can actually start, you know, placing bets and see how much damage you can rock up. Now, I have to admit that I haven't played the Wisconsin for quite a while now, and ever since the dockyard, so I thought to give it a go and see how well I do in this operation with these guys. So, you know, first and foremost, I would like to say thanks to Boggzy Ahskance for the opportunity to do this, as well as your lovely viewers from the NA community as well too. So I have to admit, I mean, like, the first question I did have about the operations is that I'm not sure what your thoughts are. So basically, I'm just going to ask you folks out there, what is your thoughts about this, you know, in terms of the operations, flagship operations? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think that, you know, that we're better off with a brand new operation to begin with, or this is the start of the new trend to see that this could be just a regular event every now and then that would be more beneficial towards possible dockyard missions or anything like that. I just, throwing out ideas, but that just, just random questions here for you all. I'm just actually curious to see what your thoughts are, and well, any feedback will be great. I mean, it'll be actually interesting to see what kind of thing it'll be for these operations in the future. Honestly, in my perspective about these operations, I like the existing operations, but I just feel that we just need a whole new variety. Wow, there's a lot of torps smashing that fleet of Hakaru and that sort of thing. I actually feel that one thing I can say is that anything to do with any objective warships like that for the Hakaru, for example, I would have expected a bit more ships out there than just the usual 3. I would have probably put in at least probably 6 or 8, just protecting the objective and making it more challenging for the players. But then again, I mean, this is just the standard mechanics of Raptor Rescue. But hey, it is what it is. Great teamwork, by the way, between the destroyer here as well as myself and defending the CV for Ahskance. So that's actually pretty cool, how we did it there. So that's pretty awesome. But a couple of things about this operations that they've done is that it's a little bit more difficult and challenging. You can't really, sacrifice your health too soon early in the match. And I know that sometimes that people would just have a tendency to just quickly just rush in and want the operation over and done with. Well, it doesn't exactly work that way for all operations to begin with, especially this one. So this one's a bit more, I have to say, time consuming, because you have to protect the aircraft carrier and its convoy and do what you have to do. And well, it is what it is though. Oh, look out. It's actually pretty cool that we can see some interesting ships trying to come over and trying to flank us, like this destroyer, this Kamikaze. If we had left this Kamikaze to come any closer, they would have been a bit more devastating. It would have killed lovely CV down the back behind us. So it's always good to pay attention to the map as well. So the mini map, folks, is very important, just to give you a heads up to make sure that you're keeping your eye on it. And well, it's very important to protect your teammates as well too. Anyways, I have to say that poor Boggzy here, he's actually getting absolutely hammered in this match to begin with. But there's a lot of things that I just have to say that it's this operation can be quite challenging, but I have a lot of fun by doing this game mode, I have to say. So one of the interesting questions I did have for you folks out there in terms of the Operation Flagships, ladies and gentlemen, is this: tell us what you don't like and did like about these operations, in particular, specifically, this whole event for it. I'm actually curious to see what kind of feedback you would be saying. Do you believe that this should be a regular thing in the future for, special events like dockyards, or, a one-off moment, that change of pace, for operations? Like, for example, instead of doing the regular operations from tier 6 to super, would you like to see a bit of a variety with a bit more rewards? I have to admit though that, when I'm thinking about this operations and the way they've done it for the flagship operations, I don't think they've really done much difference in terms of the rewards. I have to have a look again, but I just feel that, when it comes to these operations, I like to see some better rewards. I think that's just like the general hunch I have about, when it comes to operations like this. If you want to get some good rewards, I like to see better rewards turnover for mixture of research bureau. Let's see, coal is very common in the game, so that's something that we don't really need to really worry about these days. So I was thinking like Research Bureau, Steel, maybe doubloons, or maybe I don't know. I mean, like it's some like extra flags or something like that, like the red ones or the blue ones or something like that for completing missions. I don't know. I just feel that when you're doing operations, I mean, like it does take a lot of time out of you. So basically, I'm just thinking that out of the mindset here that I like to see some better rewards for the newcomers as well as the regulars. So basically, I just want to see that everyone is having a good time, enjoying themselves, from a hard day's work or, studying pretty hard or whatever the reason. And you just want to sit back, relax, and chill doing operations in your own way with friends or getting to know other players around the world as well, too. So it's actually a good opportunity, and I have to say that, just by thinking about it, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, this is just me. The other question I did have for everyone is, like, basically, do you believe that the current reward system for the operations is worth it at the moment? I have to say that, me personally, I'm a bit like 50-50. So I'm basically, saying to myself, like, is it worth it or is it not? I mean, like, I'm a bit of a, like, in limbo here. It's like sitting on the fence thinking about it all. Honestly, I just think that, the operations, generally speaking, is good, but I just think that, the rewards could be better. I felt that, the general mechanics should be a little bit more challenging. Like, for example, like, look at this, like, flagship here. I mean, like, I would have expected that a flagship like this, with a lot of health pool and everything, that I would have expected at least maybe another additional 4 or 5 ships, or maybe 6, at least escorting it. Because, like, if you want a bit more challenging and gives, the players a bit more incentive to really take out a flagship, you would expect a flagship to be at least part of a fleet. Just saying. I mean, like, that to me, when I'm seeing that sort of thing, I just think that it's more of like a command ship. But then again, I mean, like, I have seen situations and that in basic the history side of things, that there always has been like a mixture can be at least 2 ships or more. So, like, for example, remember the Bismarck and the Prince Eugen, for example, or the Hood and also the Prince of Wales. But oh, this is interesting. I've tried to sit out this Satsuma and I never hit the cheek. I have to say, RNG can be your friend and cannot be your friend at the same time. Wow, this is actually pretty fun and engaging moment here. That's seeing the Satsuma, the Magi, and the Shimato. Like, having a secondary is fine, focusing on the Shimato, while I'm actually trying to hammer the Magi and the Satsuma with my main guns. It's actually quite interesting, though. I have to admit that, this game mode is actually pretty fun and engaging. It actually brings a lot of people together. I have to admit, that it's actually a great opportunity to basically get to know everyone in the community. So I have to say that, the operations themselves, I mean, like, for what it's worth for this, for what Wargaming has done, I can see what Wargaming is trying to achieve. I suppose that, like, when you're looking at from a different angle here, is that you're playing at high tiers, and this is the start of possibly seeing higher tier operations in the near future. Look, if it is the case, I mean, like, I actually welcome the idea. I really do. The reason why I welcome it is because that, well, it's nothing against the original regular operations from tier 6 to super ships with a variety of to choose from. And it's good to have a bit of exposure for the newcomers as well as the regulars. And the regulars who have been, who have really grinded all their ships over the years, and it's been 10 years for World of Warships nowadays, all things considered. So this year is our 10th year anniversary for World of Warships. So if you think about it, if you've been playing the game since 2015 and still going to this day, that you would expect like at least some sort of formal change that actually would be more encouraging. Like, I have to say, over the years, they have improved the graphics, they improved the sound effects, they have done, you know, a lot of good things and a mixture of bad things as well too along the way. But what I can say is that I think it's time that the operations should change a little, in a way that we need new operation maps. Now, I've been, you know, thinking about, you know, different ideas. Like, for example, the Battle of Leyte Gulf, you could do Operation focus on that when you're going up against the head-to-head with the Musashi or the Yamato, or, you know, things like that. You know, like, just like, you know, make it a bit more fun, challenging, engaging, something different. And, you know, it will be awesome to have. And don't forget, Operation Dynamo. Now, Operation Dynamo was a great operation all around. I don't know why it's not back in the game, to tell you the truth. I mean, Operation Dynamo is basically focused on the Dunkirk situation. So, if you think about it, it's nice to have a bit of variety, mind you. You know, if you have like a mixture of tier 9 and 10 warships, especially right now, I would expect it, you know, the operation maps to be either larger, have more ships to go up against, and a bit more challenging. So we need a bit of a diversity, that's for sure. But hey, I mean, like, it is small steps in the right direction, and it's good to see Boggzy's help with actually on this curve first there has actually gone back up again. But nah, it's all good. Man, it's been an interesting time of year already. It's like not even like you know, we are not even like finished January already, but I can tell you this much, folks. I mean, like, this is a great operation moment for all of us in the flagships side of things. It's actually great. So me personally, I when I first saw it, I was a bit like, oh no, not again, you know, like a bit too repetitive. It can be, by the way, it can be repetitive, but you can try and make a bit of fun of it. So tell us what, folks, again, tell us what you think about these flagship operations. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you believe that there's a bit of a, you know, choice of variety to choose from? You know, throw it in the comments, let us know what you're thinking, and would you like to see, you know, a bit more of T9 and 10 operations in the future as a bit of an event? But you never know, it could be a thing, so it'll be worthwhile checking it out. But wow, it's actually scored over 340k damage, which is not bad on the Wisconsin here. It's actually pretty cool. So I have to say that I'm actually feeling pretty chuffed about that. But again, big shout out to thanks to Boggzy, as well as good old Ahskance there, and also to Azure Fire, as well as Denru and Trapper and Baisan Shi for the opportunity here. And look, folks, I mean, like, I don't know about you, but that was actually a pretty fun moment to check out what the Operation Flagships is all about. But at the end of the day, as long as you're having fun, that's the main thing. So don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, and don't forget, folks, to always leave a comment down below. Tell us your thoughts about it, the Operation Flagships, and have a wonderful year, everybody. Take care and stay safe. Action Stations.